Hello and thank you for watching. I'm Ashley Van Dyke with Advantage Software, and on today's video we're going to continue to explore File Manager functions with rename, delete, and properties. You can rename, delete, and access property information about the files that you use in Eclipse from within the File Manager. You can access the File Manager by going to Tools, File Manager, or hitting Control F. And it'll show you all of the files that you have listed in your job folder. In the upper left, we have rename, delete, and then in the bottom right, properties. You can hit the plus sign next to a file, put a check mark in, say, the ECL file, and hit properties to access the Windows properties of that file. It'll tell you general information like the size of the file, and if we choose a WAV file instead of the ECL file and hit properties, we can go to the Details tab, and it tells us the length of the audio file. In this instance, this WAV file is only 3 minutes and 57 seconds long. This may be helpful if you're trying to troubleshoot audio problems and you think that perhaps you may have missing audio. If you know that your job was over an hour, but your WAV file is only 10 minutes, then you know that you have some kind of a problem. If you select a file and have every element of that file selected when you hit properties, you'll get a separate properties window for each file type associated with that job. And you can check the size and information on each of those files if you ever need to. Properties is fairly straightforward. It just gives you information in Windows about the file. It doesn't give you much control over the file or the ability to move or change the file. However, it does give you access to history about the file. The next function we're going to cover is the delete function. You can delete any files that you want to in the File Manager, and there are settings related to the delete. If you hit the Settings button at the top of the File Manager, there is a section that says Warning Level when deleting, and you can choose it to never warn you when you're deleting files, warn you once when it begins deleting files, warn you once for each job, or warn you once for each individual file. If you're deleting a lot of files to make room on your computer, you probably don't want to have this set to each file. Otherwise, you'll have to click OK, perhaps up to 6 times for each of the files that you wish to delete. So in this instance, I'm going to go ahead and set it for once at the beginning and hit OK. And I will select these 4 files and hit delete. And ask me if I wish to delete the selected files and move them to the recycle bin. I'll hit yes. And that's it, the files are gone. If I go back to settings and hit warn for each job and press OK, I can again check off any of the files that I want to delete. I'm done with these Smith trial files. I don't need them anymore. I can hit delete, and it's going to ask me if I want to move all parts of the file to the recycle bin for each file. So first it gives me Smith trial, which is the first one in the list. Next, it says Smith trial day 1. Next, day 2, day 3 read-in, day 4 read-in, and then it's done and the files have been removed. If I go to settings and select each file instead under warning level, I can check off a few files and hit delete. And it'll ask me if I want to move each individual file. So first I have file1.note, file1.ecl, and so on and so forth. And it'll ask me for each individual file that I am deleting if I'm sure that I want to delete it. This may be helpful if you're not currently deleting and backing up files and you want to make sure you don't accidentally delete anything. However, if you're going to be backing up files, it may be helpful to change this setting either to once at the beginning or never warn. You may want to be careful about never warn because it will never warn you if you delete a file. So I recommend setting it to once at the beginning or one of the other settings instead of never warn. In addition to accessing Windows properties information about your files and deleting them through the File Manager, you can also rename them. You can rename individual files or you can rename entire jobs as groups. For instance, this file right here, I misspelled February. I want all of the files to stay together. I want my audio file, my note file, and my dictionary to stay associated with my text. So I'm just going to check off the whole job and hit rename. And I'll fix my spelling mistake and press OK. So now each individual file in that job group has been renamed. However, if for some reason I had a file that was separated from the rest of the job that should be with the job and has the wrong name, I could check that file off and hit rename. And give it the same name to associate it back up with this February 1st file and press OK. And now the February 1st file has an ASCII file. The rename button makes it easy to reassociate files when they've been disassociated because of a naming issue. And it also makes it easy to make sure that all of your files are renamed together when they should be in a group so that you don't end up with errant files. It is important that you don't rename your dictionary or spell files in this window. If I hit the plus sign next to Ashley, which is my username and dictionary name, I see that I have a dictionary, ESD, and ESP files. These files are used by Eclipse, and if I rename them, it will create new files with the name Ashley. It won't know that I've renamed the files. So you generally don't want to rename your main dictionary or your spell files. Other than that, the renaming tool is a great time saver to make sure that you keep all of your files together. Thank you for watching this video. I hope that it has clarified more of the file manager functions. As a reminder, Advantage Software offers anytime support 24/7, and we can be reached anytime, including weekends and holidays, at 772-288-3266. Email support is also available at support@eclipsecat.com. Thank you for watching our videos. If you enjoy them, please subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so that you'll be notified when we put out new content. Thank you so much and have a great day.